I always wondered why President Trump kept the Truth Social account going, right? His own personal Truth Social account and the entire company. Oh, we know now. We know why now. Like what happened last night? A barrage, a hailstorm of posts on Truth Social. Then, of course, get retweeted and reposted and regurgitated and all this other stuff. But he can go on there completely unfiltered and repost things that other people have said about something he's working on. And what he did last night, I don't know whether you saw it or not, but this is the reason why you're seeing so much about Obama, 2020, 2016, Hillary. The term Obamagate is back, and all of it from President Trump's Truth Social last night. Some of these clips were old, not all, but all of them relevant to what exactly he's talking about here. And we've never seen this. We've never seen this from any president everywhere, anywhere, but we'll never look at presidents the same way again as far as going after adversaries. Justifiably, not justifiably, whatever, make up your own mind. But things are different now. And you know what? Shame on us if we don't read the tea leaves and understand. We've had now President Trump, 1 and almost a half terms as president. We should know how he operates, the messaging, what he's trying to tell us, right? But we've also had this guy in public life now for 60 years, close to 60 years. Wrote a book about how he operates, wrote a book about how he negotiates. It's all been out there. And like I said, shame on us if we can't figure out what he's trying to say. What he's trying to say from last night with these Truth Social barrage of posts, this rampage of information, something is going down, something big, because he doesn't send out multiple messages like this. There were like over 50 of them last night. Boy, he was busy. Unless he's working on something and he has something. And we'll get to all of it. We've never seen anything like this. And that's the reason why you're seeing so much about this election conspiracy stuff today, because of what he said and what looks like they've gathered. Anyway, we'll get to it. We'll break it all down. I can't get to all 50 posts. We're not going to do that. But we'll get to the relevant ones and which ones we think matter. And try to figure out what he's trying to tell us. Because we should know. It's a good skill to have, by the way. And this is why I say we'll never look at presidents the same way again going forward. You got to figure out what they're trying to tell you. This is where the transparency matters. Anyway, we'll get to it. Thanks for finding Wicked Radio, the live stream, and the replay on X and YouTube and Facebook and the audio podcast where most of you found this. Wherever you like to get your audio podcast, to tell our little tale here. Let me just describe exactly what I'm talking about because, like you, I wasn't up late last night. I don't think the guy sleeps on Truth Social. I had to log back into my Truth Social account. I haven't used it in that long because most people grab what he posts on Truth Social and then they put it on X, right? That's usually how it gets distributed. But he can put it on Truth Social because it's basically his company. Nobody can stop him. Nobody's going to edit him. He can do whatever he wants, and then that's how he can get it out there, right? Because it's his own platform. That's what you can do. So what did he do last night? Let me just give you the synopsis. It's a lot to go through. We're not going to get to all of these posts, but here it is. Late night Truth Social posting spree. This is a kind of like a conclusion and a summary of it on Grok. Truth Social posting spree last night from, they even have the time, from 10:15 to 11:30 p.m. Eastern Time, involving over, ready, 50 reposts and shares heavily focused on, you can guess, but it's all sort of connected here. Long-standing accusations against Barack Obama tied to 2016 election and then beyond. And then into 2020, which he still claims was stolen and may have the goods now. Accusations of a coup, election interference. The term sedition was thrown out there as well. We got to go back in time a little bit to see what started this entire thing. So here is, actually, funny enough, Jesse Waters in late 2025 when Tulsi Gabbard, remember that story that she said she found? She got the goods. She was able to get into a completely secure, or so they thought, CIA facility where they had all the goods and all this information and all this stuff. This is where all of it started. And it was like a pretty big story at the time. Tulsi Gabbard's up to something. What is she up to? This was the night of the broadcast. This was one of the Truth Social reposts last night from President Trump. But it's a good summary of exactly what the accusation was. And then what Tulsi Gabbard was saying at the press conference at the time. This is the first one to start with, out of order.
Fox News alert, the director of national intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, releasing a bombshell report today that shows a conspiracy by a sitting president, Barack Obama, and his intel agencies to sabotage the president-elect, Donald Trump, brainwash the electorate, and undermine the legitimacy of an election.
There is irrefutable evidence that detail how President Obama and his national security team directed the creation of an intelligence community assessment that they knew was false. They knew it would promote this contrived narrative that Russia interfered in the 2016 election to help President Trump win, selling it to the American people as though it were true. It wasn't.
Okay, so that's reposted last night. Why would? And at the time, you might remember, you and I were talking about it. It was like, well, that's pretty big, but it's the same old story, isn't it? He still thinks that all of that was conspiracy. It was Russiagate. It was all a hoax, and that we pretty much know it was a hoax. It was this and that. When you repost it and you attach that to 49 other reposts of people saying the exact same thing with some new information, now doesn't that take on some extra weight? Also reposted last night, things like this. This guy's name is Jason Meister. This was a reaction right after the Tulsi Gabbard news happened in 2025, an advisor to President Trump. Again, put it in context. Trump regurgitating this, reposting this last night where this is now news. They're on to something.
Every single American in their shoes. I hate to say this, but President Barack Obama, there is now incontrovertible evidence that he was the spearhead of a seditious conspiracy to subvert the will of the American people and overthrow the United States government back in 2016. We must, absolutely must, hold every one of these criminals accountable for the crimes that they committed. They are the most heinous crimes committed in American history.
Trump advisor reposted last night. Truth Social and now everywhere. Ask yourself why. Also ask yourself why, because this doesn't come out of nowhere. Why has former President Obama done so much media recently? Why did he just have a closed-door session as well in Toronto with some other leftist leaders where no cameras were allowed? Why is that happening? Why is he doing so many media opportunities and interviews when he was silent for years about some of the redistricting going on? Is it just about that, or is it about him trying to get ahead of the story and control the narrative? Think they knew this stuff was coming? Do you think they know they're in trouble? Him, advisors, CIA director, we all know about Comey, right? Robert Mueller, all of it. And now all put together in one giant post-storm from President Trump last night on Truth Social. And also ask yourself this. Here's a big one. Here's a big repost from last night. And maybe one of the oldest ones? Well, not one of the oldest ones, one of the most relevant ones, but it's still from 2017. March of 2017. Devin Nunes at the time on the Intelligence Committee. And what he said about what they knew at the time but couldn't put all the pieces together about 2016. Again, remember, this is Devin Nunes from March of 2017, reposted last night. Getting more views than it did way back then on Truth Social.
Good morning, or good afternoon, everyone. I recently confirmed that on numerous occasions, the intelligence community incidentally collected information about U.S. citizens involved in the Trump transition. Details about U.S. persons associated with the incoming administration, details with little or no apparent foreign intelligence value, were widely disseminated in intelligence community reporting.
Devin Nunes connected the whole dots between everything. That's why this is such a wide net, and this is why Trump was posting last night on Truth Social about so many different topics that all seem to funnel to the same thing over different years. So you've got, in his accusation, and by the way, important to note, these were not in Trump's words. These are reposts from other people saying things. In other words, it's like, and everybody's on X this morning saying, Trump is saying that Obama's going to jail. No, not yet. He's posting other people saying that. He's posting other people saying they all need to be held accountable. And he's posting, connecting the dots between all of this stuff. The 2016 election, Obama's interference, getting the CIA and FBI involved, and then going after anybody that dared question that this was happening. That's what Devin Nunes was getting to right there. All of it together. Why does it matter? Why now? And that volume of 50 posts of all this stuff together and accusing the same thing, or using other people's words, accusing them of the same thing, it all matters when you put it in context into one big nutshell. Because over the years, since 2016, since all of it, there's been a news story here, it's been a news story there, individual little reports, like Devin Nunes. We now have incontrovertible, but the mainstream media was able to tear that apart because it's one story. I think this is why, and I think this is what Trump is trying to tell us. They have the goods. This is why he collected all of this in one. He's been trying to say for years that all of this is related. all of it together, all of these agencies together, and yes, going up to the executive branch in a transition of power with Obama, which, according to the people that he reposted, directed the intelligence officials to come up with the Russian hoax number one, right? But it doesn't stop there. He also ties this together to not 2016, but 2020. All together, all at once. Not as two separate stories, as one giant interference from the same political party. And this is one of them. I kind of laughed out loud because I haven't heard her in a long time. Remember the Kraken lady? We're going to release the Kraken. Sidney Powell, remember her? You think she... We'll play her in a second. You'll remember exactly what she was about. With 2020, one of the people claiming that Fulton County... Remember, they got the ballots now. They're looking at them. That's probably a huge part of this whole thing. Atlanta, Fulton County, Detroit, Wisconsin as well. Very funky things happening in the 2020 election. But similar to 2016, wasn't it? This is her. Again, another repost. President Trump bringing her words from years ago back to life last night.
Destroying evidence right and left in Georgia, in Cobb County, Gwinnett County, Fulton County. It's everything from shredding ballots to wiping machines and replacing servers. All these machines should have been impounded the day after the election and reviewed for forensic analysis. We have so many judges out there now that are result-driven instead of applying the rule of law like it should be.
Now, there's plenty of people out there, and I get it because it was so just... Remember at the time what we were going through with 2020. We're also dealing with the COVID crap and all that other stuff, and we were trying to figure out how to save our businesses. And then we were trying to figure out everything they're alleging, and the media would tell you that that's all a lie. If you dared question any of that, you were supposed to be a crazy person, all that other stuff. Now put it all together, all of this all at once, which I'm pretty sure was the message from President Trump last night, to put it all in context, all together in one big thing over the course of years, all the accusations. So what is he telling us? What was included in all this whole thing? 2016 election interference. I also reposted accusations of spying on his campaign, spying on Trump Tower. Remember all that going way back. To screwing up the transition of power, starting Russia collusion hoax number one, and then number two, and then leading into the 2020 election. And then after that, Tulsi Gabbard's information about being able to get into the CIA vault where they were hiding all this information. All of it together from President Trump. And I say it again, like I said in the introduction, shame on us if we don't read the tea leaves on this, because he's saying something. He doesn't post this Truth Social or X or YouTube or Facebook or whatever it is unless the goods are there. What does it mean? Does it mean arrest? Does it mean like Obama's going to be, let off in handcuffs recently? No, not necessarily. But we've never seen this. We've never seen in public this kind of accusation from one president about another and his administration and all of the henchmen and people in the CIA, ever. We've never seen anything like this. And maybe it changed. Maybe it's just a result of social media now. Now you can publicly accuse people of things like this when it was done behind closed doors before in the swamp of Washington, D.C. Or maybe we're about to see, at some point, one of the biggest stories in our lives, maybe in American history, if you've got people who actually may pay a price for election interference. He's not going to let it go, of course. And there's a reason why he put all of this together and posted it all at once in a post-rampage last night on Truth Social. What do they have? Don't know. Here's the other thing, too. It's a good lesson for all of us to be able to read what any administration is saying. It's a little bit more obvious and in front of your face with President Trump because he's so obvious in front of your face. It's just how he communicates. It's a big reason why a lot of people wanted to vote for him. That transparency tells it like it is. Here's a billionaire who understands how the swamp works, but he talks like a dock worker. That was very appealing. Never a doubt that appeal for a lot of people in this country. And now he's saying it in social media terms in the same exact way. Here's what I have. Here's all of the reposts. Here's all of the accusations all at once. You can put it all together in one big nutshell because something's coming. What? I don't know. There's another point, too. This Brennan, Clapper, the former CIA spooks, all the swamp monsters that are on there. You've never seen them do so much media, whether you're paying attention to it or not, than you have in the recent couple of weeks. They know something's coming, too, and maybe that's the biggest telltale sign of all. What is it? I don't know, but he's sending a message about something. Read the tea leaves. That's all I'm saying. We'll see. It's going to be interesting. And watch the people who don't understand, like you do, about what message is being sent out. Watch them free. If you thought they were freaking out about, like, redistricting, for instance, oh, my God. Just imagine a high-ranking Obama official or Barry Obama himself being indicted on one of these things. There are going to be a lot of people melting down. They already are about what Trump was posting last night. We'll see. Read the tea leaves, understand the messaging and what he's trying to say. Thanks for finding me. I appreciate you. Almost into midweek. Thanks for finding the Wicked Radio live stream. Replay on X, YouTube, and on Facebook. Not on Truth Social. Apparently not. But the audio podcast where most of you find this too, whatever favorite platform you like. And they all ask you to do something else. Like, share, download, follow, whatever it is so you get alerts when the next episode is there. And I really appreciate the subscribes too. Making it wicked awesome. Is it only Tuesday? Is it Wednesday? Is it Tuesday? My God, there was a lot of information last night. Making it a wicked awesome Tuesday. I'll talk to you tomorrow.